Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to this consensus model workshop. I am Ian and Vance. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We'll pose the question in a little bit here, but this is just to give a little bit of context. Did everybody get a chance to read over the calls to action? We can talk about those in a second once we present the question. If anybody has any clarification that's needed, then we can address that. Okay. So here we go. So the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, or TRC, was a group organized by the parties of the Indian Residential Schools Settlement Agreement. The commission was created as part of a comprehensive response to the ill treatment and abuse of First Nations children who attended these schools. The commission was officially established on June 2nd, 2008, and was completed in December 2015. On December 15th, 2015, after 6 years of painstaking interviews and research, the TRC presented their findings to Canada and the rest of the world. As part of their mandate, the TRC presented 94 distinct calls to action in order to redress the legacy of the residential schools and advance the process of Canadian reconciliation. These calls to action related to topics such as child welfare, language and culture, health, justice in the criminal code, employment, and training and education. For the purpose of this workshop, we would like to focus on one specific category related to these calls to action, that is education. Vance is just going to go over some of the guidelines of the...
Yes, so before we get into what the actual question is, I'd just like to briefly go over some guidelines that we have that is aimed to allow equal airtime, equal equality amongst the groups. Starting, everyone has wisdom. Everyone's wisdom is needed for the wisest result. There are no wrong answers. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Everyone will have the opportunity here to be heard, or opportunity to hear and to be heard. Does everybody understand what the guidelines are moving forward? Any questions? All right, well, without further ado, we will present our question.
It is true, it is true. There we go. So, our question today that we're going to focus on is, as students and future workers in the field, what are some unique and creative ways we can ensure that the TRC's call to action are met within the education system? Does anybody have any questions before we begin about what we're here to do today? Feeling pretty good? Okay, awesome. So we're gonna hand out some cards. Oh, actually, first of all, we should probably separate folks. Or is everybody okay the way that they're sitting, Susan? Very good, very good. Does everybody feel comfortable, or do you want to be on separate sides of the room? Everybody's comfy. Everybody's real comfy. Very good.
Okay, so we've got two colors here that we'll hand out. And we have some nifty little markers that I had commandeered from my nephew. Yeah.
Alright, so I'll get the back guys through that. Sure. Guys, so there's your cards. There's some markers for you as well. Some space.
And then colors. There's purple, blues. And then three. Oh, mine. Yes, colors. All right then.
Okay, guys. So as we did previously in class, we're going to start by just starting to brainstorm some ideas, right? So if you want to just start writing some things down as related to that question, Vance and I are here for any support for questions. We'll just start by doing that, maybe about 3 minutes or so. Oh, keep in mind too, guys, that within the education system means at the elementary, the secondary, and the post-secondary education level. So we can be talking about, you know, helping kids to understand what happened there, high school students, and post-secondary, right? So those are all the different areas. About 2 minutes left, everybody. Minute left there, guys. Coming up to 3 minutes. Does anybody want some more time for doing a little bit more brainstorming, or feeling good? Very good. So that's 3 minutes there, guys. So if you want to start transposing those ideas onto the cards now.
Oh, are we in teams?
Yeah, you guys are a team. Yes, and you two are a team as well.
Students and future workers and field workers and ways to ensure that I thought it was more, like how it. Yeah, exactly, so like having one, like
Maybe just another 2 minutes, guys, getting ideas down, and then we're gonna ask for your top two to start sticking up on the board here.
For another minute, guys.
Thanks. Sure. For 30 seconds there, guys. Please. Is,
So we're just gonna go ahead now and we'll collect your top two picks. So I'll have Ian go and do the back and I'll go do the front. And ladies.
You want two?
Yes, please.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. I did three. And.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so the first group today, the front group, has cultural workshops. The village, as an example, as part of the school curriculum. And we also have pre-order and increase in funding.
On the back group, we got advocate, more social media campaigns to combat stigma and give info, ending racism. Is this distracting to have it, do you want me to write the question up? And,
Might be better.
yeah, is it? Yeah.
Because, you know,
We can do
because I
that.
can't even read that now, it's just the color, I think.
Yeah, okay, we can probably do that right now. The other one was elders in all schools. Got it. Yeah, for sure. I'll just gather the next two there, guys. Whatever you think.
Okay.
Very good. This one here? Yeah, that one.
Sorry.
Very good. Thank you, that's fine. Thank you.
sorry about that. Oops.
All good. Pleasure to you.
All right.
So for the back group, we have revised history classes in education, and also Aboriginal language course classes, electives in high school and college, basics in elementary school.
Okay, so from the front, we have protection of values. And we have respect to cultural components. So before we go on to the next round of papers, are there any questions with what's on the board right now of uncertainty?
Sorry, I'm blind.
Which one are you looking at, or trying to look at?
The top one?
This one?
Yeah.
Cultural workshops like the village as part of the
Oh.
curriculum.
No, that was, sorry.
It's okay.
Respect, the bottom one, maybe.
Respect to cultural components.
Yeah.
So can we elaborate that a little bit, please?
Just basically like having respect for like past events, current events, the emotions, can't think of the word, do you know the word?
Empathy?
I can't think of the word. I know what it is, but I can't even like explain it.
The cultural competency.
Yes. Something along that line.
Does that help, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then would it be, never mind, sorry. All right, is that it for the questions so far? Does that give you a better understanding of what they had written?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we will take the next two steps, please.
I might grab 3 from you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
All right, so from the front group, we have compassion. And we also have update textbooks.
And from the group behind, Aboriginal leadership programs. Cultural connections within schools. And implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need. Does anybody have any questions about the ones that we've stuck up? Clarification? Makes sense. Very good.
All right, for the final round, we will take what's left of the cards.
Yeah. No decisions needed on this one. Just grab this one.
It's still quite a bit.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
got funded lunches. Aboriginal supports. Have one model implemented in all schools. Review boards, evaluation. And grants.
And from the front, we have historical teachings.
All right, so it's cluster time. We're going to look up here and we're going to see all these different different topics. We're gonna see if there's anything that goes together. Yes, Deb?
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yes, sure. Let's do questions first.
Can someone expand on how one model, I can't read it because it's just a color.
Yeah.
Have one model,
So-
it's the top one,
Oh, yeah, have one model implemented in all schools.
one model of what?
Well, like, if there's, say, they're planning on, having, changing the textbooks, changing the curriculum and knowledge, but that, having elders or whatever it is decided on, like, maybe that should be implemented in all schools, because then you know it's happening.
So are you meaning consistency?
Yeah.
Very good.
Thanks.
Any other questions before we start the clustering? Good. So does anybody see anything that maybe goes together? And if you need anything read out aloud for clarification, you can do that too. I'm having trouble seeing it too.
I can read grants.
I'm just gonna move over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please do.
Because I forgot my
Everybody.
glasses.
Come on up.
Thousands in all schools and our virtual leadership program.
What was the first one you said, Alexis?
Purple magnet on your side, Ian.
Yeah, oh, elders in all schools, yeah. And Aboriginal leadership program.
Can I actually get clarification on Aboriginal supports?
Like Aboriginal counselors, people that they can go to that may have an understanding.
And that might go into those too, so.
You'd like to move that over here? Okay.
I think that grants could probably go in with like proper and increased funding.
Is that agreed?
I think like updating textbooks and, oh, it's great.
Oh, very good.
And then, which one was it? Sorry.
Revised history classes.
Yeah, revised history classes.
That's cool.
And then there's also historical teachings moving.
Yeah.
Second one down.
Historical teachings going where, sorry?
Under updated textbooks.
Can you review one of those?
Can you read one of those?
No, that's cool. Like, it's these ones here probably, right? Is that giving people
What is the
problems?
one that says Aboriginal language?
Aboriginal language course classes, electives in high school and college, basics in elementary.
I think that could go under the update textbooks, historical teachings and stuff.
Sure. Do that. This one says advocate more social media campaigns to combat stigma and give info equals ending racism.
That could go with compassion.
Compassion? Oh, yeah, compassion. So, this is implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need. Funded lunches there.
Could funded lunches go under increased funding? I don't know.
Very much so, yes, absolutely.
I think that protection of values could go under compassion and advocation as well.
The values one?
Yeah.
And probably respect to culture and components. That's something that-
Under the same one? Sure.
implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need. So cultural workshops, have one model implemented in all schools, review boards, evaluation.
The cultural workshops and cultural connections go together.
Sure.
Right there, being a top, like the top green one in your orange.
Oh, and this one? No.
No, the cultural connections.
Oh, cultural,
with
thank you.
schools.
So you guys can see this pretty good. So we got left, have one model implemented in all schools, review boards, evaluation, and implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need.
Couldn't the have one model go under historical teachings, update textbooks,
Sure.
revise history and education?
Can I get clarification on that one again? I don't remember what you guys said it meant. Yeah.
Like consistency through all the different schools, I guess, so that.
For like the teachings or.
Yeah,
Okay.
teachings and like how they kind of plan to implement it, so it's,
Okay.
yeah.
One school gets it, then everybody should follow suit.
And I think that the review board's evaluation could go in there too.
Under this one?
Yeah.
Yes. And then implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need. It's a tough one. We'll just leave that one out for now. Okay, so now we're going to give these groups symbols. And are you the driver?
I'll play Vanna.
Very good.
For now.
Very good. So maybe a symbol for this one, you guys. This is Aboriginal leadership programs, elders in all schools, Aboriginal supports.
A feather.
A feather. All right. Art is my first choice. Feather.
Nice.
And I could do so. I have an idea for the symbol for the compassion one. It can be a heart.
Are we all in agreement with the heart? All right, I can do this one. Yes. Okay.
The, a book.
A book.
You can just write a square with the word book.
Yeah.
Ah, I can do this.
Beautiful. We should take up some art or something.
I'm
maybe.
thinking about it.
Last one would be a dollar sign.
The last one?
Yeah.
I know this one all too well. I have none. Look at this lonely guy. The cultural connections with schools and cultural workshops at the village as part of the curriculum.
A drum.
A drum. Okay.
Deb, I don't agree with that.
Hmm?
It's like, Deb, I don't agree with that.
No?
No.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. So now that we have all our groupings here, guys, I'm just going to read through each thing. We'll see if there's any changes or if we like everything. Okay. So under this symbol here, we have proper. Does that say proper?
Yeah,
Proper increase.
and increase.
Oh, proper and increase funding. There we go. Proper and increase funding. No, that needs to go there. Just has to. Grants and funded lunches. Does anybody disagree with this column here? Does that column make sense? Anybody feels good about that column? Very good. Under this symbol here, we've got revised history classes and education, update textbooks, historical teachings, Aboriginal language course classes, electives in high school and college, basics and elementary. Have one model implemented in all schools, review boards, evaluation. Does anybody see any movements that may need to happen here?
Keep in mind too, we still have this lonely guy here. The implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on kind of community need.
We're gonna stay on its own.
The only one that I can think that it could possibly go under is like the book. Or maybe the drum. Or on its own.
What was it again, sorry?
Implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need.
I kind of think the drum, if we were to put it, if we were to move it under one.
Does everybody feel that that is a place to go?
If any,
Very good.
Alexis?
Drum time. Do you want to take over on the
Yep,
heart?
so under the heart, we have compassion, advocate more social media campaigns to combat stigma, give info, equaling and ending to racism, protection of values, respect to cultural components. Is there anything in here that we can see that might be, or that can stay, or may need to be changed?
I like it.
Yeah.
Right, everybody? Okay. Under the drum, we have cultural workshops like the Village as part of the curriculum, cultural connections within schools, and implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on the community need. As before, anything that can be moved. We're all okie dokie. And finally, the beautiful feather, Aboriginal leadership programs, elders in all schools, and Aboriginal supports. All good? All right. Okay, so we've got all these together, we now need to come up with names of these actions that we're gonna try to, some of the creative ways, so we need to put, attach names to them, aside from the beautiful colors, or symbols. So what do we think that we can call the feather, other than feather? It doesn't have to be serious, it can be something funny, it can be something serious, it can be mediocre.
Does anybody see a column there right now that they'd like to name as something that's kicking around? Maybe not that one right there, but maybe another one?
the one under money,
Yes?
fork it over.
Fork it over. Does everybody like fork it over? Everybody had lunch today?
It still is funny.
Excuse me.
Fork it over? Very good. How about the next one there? We've got revised history classes in education, update textbooks, historical teachings, Aboriginal language course classes, have one model implemented in all schools, review, boards, evaluation.
I looked at with the program.
Love it.
Yeah. We're sassy.
The sass is real today.
Get with the program.
I like it.
All right, how about under the heart there, compassion, advocate more social media campaigns to combat stigma and give info equals ending racism, protection of values, and respect to cultural components. How about you, Alison? You're very quiet.
Like, be nice.
Don't be nice.
Or don't be a
I like that one. I like that one.
Don't be a jerk.
You jerk?
All right.
But we'll keep it consistent.
Right on.
All right, so for drum with the feather,
Can you read what's under the drum, because I'm.
absolutely. Cultural workshops, like as in the village, as part of the curriculum. Cultural connections within schools, and implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need.
No wrong answers, remember.
For the feather, lead by example.
Everybody like that one?
So can I just ask you, I can't read the bottom one under drum. Can you read it one more time for me?
Implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need.
Respect culture.
What was that, sorry?
Respect culture.
People like that one?
I still didn't hear what it was.
What's that?
I still couldn't hear what you were
Oh,
saying.
respect culture. Right? Yeah. Does that feel nice?
Is it warm for everybody's soul?
Don't all shout at once there, guys. It feels good?
I feel like they're all three different things.
Yeah, it's like.
So
lots of
maybe
words
there's,
added.
okay, so maybe there's, you know, feel free if you see changes that need to be made, we can still do that. Just because we're at this stage doesn't necessarily mean we can't make changes that make more sense to the categories. Who brought that point up? Was that you or Alexis? Was it Alexis?
Alexis.
Was it Alexis that brought up that? Do people want to make a move there?
Cultural workshops could go with your program, and cultural connections in schools could go lead by example, and child programs.
Could also go into lead by example.
Sure. So do we want to get rid of the drum altogether then? You guys see better places for things to go?
Yeah.
Very good.
So implement then, where would that, where we lead by example or get with the program?
I would almost put that in get,
Yeah.
program, because that's the thing of changing education.
Yeah, there's still room.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of room.
It's like a glove. So cultural connections with schools.
Lead by example.
Does everybody feel good about that?
Yeah.
Good. Good. And cultural workshops, like the village.
Yeah, program.
Get with the program.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm gonna cover up your squiggle.
Oh.
I know. It's okay.
That's my temper tantrum.
That's good. Let it
I'm
out.
sorry I had to let you guys see that.
It's too much. All right. And this is just gonna bother me, Meg, or that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just me doing my thing. Sorry about that, everybody, but I can't, no, this can't do it. All right, guys, so there's our groupings there. Perhaps we'll just read over them one more time here. So under Fork It Over, we've got proper and increased funding, grants, and funded lunches. Get with the program, revised history classes and education, update textbooks, historical teachings, Aboriginal language course classes, cultural workshops like the village, implement child programs locally for Aboriginal families based on community need, have one model implemented in all schools, review boards, evaluation.
don't be a jerk. Compassion, advocate, more social media campaigns to combat stigma and to give info, equaling the ending of racism. Protection of values, respect to cultural components, under lead by example, Aboriginal leadership programs, elders in all schools, Aboriginal supports, and cultural connections within schools. Now, after all those have been gone over again, are we still feeling good about where everything is positioned?
You feel that the titles capture the elements below?
Definitely.
Nice, very good. When we read the question again, when we look at the question above, I know I'm supposed to remain biased, but I would say that, first of all, this is what I'd like to say. You guys definitely read over those calls to action, right? I can tell that you did because you talk about things that they're talking about specifically there. So thank you for reading that stuff under your busy schedules. So that's really good. But I would say that we've come up with a lot of different ideas, unique and creative ways to answer that question. So I'd say well done.
On behalf of Ian and myself, thank you very much for taking part in our consensus workshop.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
The final piece,
Hmm?
what are you gonna do with this information? So if you were to look at what's the next?
Right. This is the part that we never really did. I mean, like in the model. May I just ask, are we supposed to ask the group about that, or we say we will take your information?
Well, it's sort of what is the next step? We've done all this great brainstorming, so what, even if it's not going to happen, what would be a potential next step? And of course, you'll put it all into graph form for everybody? So you
Yes.
have a copy, right?
Yes, of course we will. Very much so. Yeah, so, I mean, these are the calls to action that exist that they presented are Canada-wide, right? So a lot of these things that we're coming up with, hopefully, the same things are happening in school boards across the country, right? That they're thinking about ways to do it. As a starting point, we could very much take these ideas and present them to our local school districts here, both folks that live elsewhere, too, people in Kamloops and stuff. So, our local school boards, maybe start there, and these are just some of the ideas that we came up with. I don't know where else we would go with setting.
Well, we could take it to all school boards, schools, have them look over it, review it, evaluate how they feel about it as well. And I mean, we can also take it to, I would imagine we could take it to Parliament and see if they can do anything with it, how to implement it into the calls to action.
Very much so.
When you say we, are you not part of an agency or?
We're just us. Not necessarily part of the
People
agency.
tend to do good.
Yeah, exactly, right, yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I would just bring it in as,
Can I make a comment?
yes, please make a comment.
I think
Save
this would
us.
be cool for Vance to use for the community development class, like if you are actually implementing that, like some of this stuff might be things to consider.
Absolutely. As without getting into it, I have looked into a few of these items solely on what I'm doing for my program. So I definitely have looked into things such as the leadership programs and elders, not necessarily in schools but in residence. So I thank you for your comment. I am definitely going to use some of this in my in program implementation.
Cool, thanks guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.